Welcome to Laredo, Texas, a city right on the border with Mexico on the banks of Rio Grande. A city with about 250,000 inhabitants and more than 95% of which are of Hispanic descent, speaking Spanish, representing thereby the highest percentage of Hispanics in a major U.S. city. A new university has been founded, the Laredo State University, where courses are bilingual, Spanish and English, where Hispanics can get a college degree, and where every recruit needs to be speaking Spanish and be of Hispanic origin. We're gonna do this Teambuilder Dynasty here to make recruiting a little bit harder on me. I can only recruit people with a Spanish last name, which makes it really hard to build up a program to win national championships. There is about, of those 32 people or recruits every year that are declared as 5 stars, there's maybe 1 or 2 with a Spanish last name. So it's not that easy for me to just put on like 8 or 10 5 stars and then win the national championships in 3 years or something. We need to build this thing from the ground up with a bunch of 3 stars, maybe a few 4 stars every year. And yeah, this is gonna be a fun challenge. We're gonna compete in the Sun Belt Conference, and we're gonna have a kind of a relegation system with the SEC. So the winner of the Sun Belt Conference goes up to the SEC, and the worst team from the SEC comes down to the Sun Belt Conference. We're gonna have West and East divisions to make it a little bit easier to look at. And we're gonna go over the team right now. I built a team with a lot of freshmen. This is the by overall best quarterback on the team, with pretty bad medium accuracy, 88 throw power, and no mobility to speak of at all. This is Mateo Canonico, and he will not be your starting quarterback. This is true freshman Matthew Gutierrez. I want to redshirt him because he is not ready to start. He has the best arm on the team, 92 throw power, but he is almost maxed out already. His accuracy can get a little better, but that 75 deep accuracy really scares me. And he has at least a little bit of mobility here. 85 speed, 92 acceleration. Sounds pretty good. This is your starting quarterback. Redshirt freshman Wayne Estrada from Richmond, Texas. He's a 3-star, or was a 3-star recruit. And he will be starting because he's not the best at anything really from all the quarterbacks on the team, but he has the most, the most equalized ratings. Like, he doesn't really have huge flaws, and he has the best mobility of the redshirt freshman quarterbacks. The third redshirt freshman quarterback is Miguel Epinesa, also a former 3-star, 91 throw power, which is a little bit better than Estrada's. He does have pretty bad accuracies though, nothing in the 80s. There is also not more speed, less speed than we have with Estrada. So Epinesa is also not in the discussion right now. And then we have a true freshman in Alex Valencia, who has 86 throw power, which is the weakest on the team, and it is already maxed out as well. He does have a little bit of accuracy, but also that deep accuracy is really scary. 83 injury doesn't sound great. He also has a problem with carrying, but he has the most speed in the quarterback room. I might turn him into a receiver, maybe next year, but we'll see. And the last quarterback we're going to talk about is Alejandro Sendejo, which is a not at all accurate quarterback. He has the worst accuracies on the team by far. He has an injury problem, and he is also 82 speed is solid, but I do prefer the 85 from Wayne Estrada. This is your best player on offense. It's John Suarez, and he has 86 juke move, 87 carrying. He still has some room for route running and his hands. He doesn't really have that much power, but he has 94 speed, 92 acceleration, and we're gonna run the ball in the first season. Kevin Santana is a true freshman that's gonna be redshirted this season. He is basically the same thing as John Suarez. They are basically the same player, just Santana is a true freshman and has lower ratings, but like he has the same strengths and weaknesses as John Suarez. So he's gonna ride the bench for the first season, 91 speed. Sounds pretty good to me as well. And then we have a few backup running backs here. Jesus Herrera, he is for some reason a receiving back with not great route running and only average hands. Don't know why he's a receiving back at all. He does have a little bit of elusiveness to him, no power to speak of, but 93 speed sounds pretty excited as well. Nick Vasquez is the other redshirt freshman backup. He has really good power skills. He's definitely gonna see the field in the first season. Has 80 carrying, has no hands or route running to speak of, and 87 speed doesn't sound great, but he is the one who has to get the tough yards. And then we have a couple more running backs that are going to be redshirted this season. Ramon Laredo is one of them, and he has solid hands and really nothing else. That's it. He's just nothing special. He's a 65 overall, but he has 88 speed, and maybe we'll see him next year. I don't know. Matt Costanzo is another one with another one of these power backs. He has great skills there, but he's maxed out in that regard. His elusiveness is also okay, but can get a little better at least. He only has 84 speed though, so don't really think we're gonna see him. And we have a fullback here who is gonna be redshirted. It's Dom Calcaterra. He has really nothing to speak of. I don't know if he has any skill. I might cut him next season or something. I don't know. He's just not a good athlete. He doesn't really know how to block. He has super restrictive caps. Receivers. Jaquez Lara is going to be your first and best receiver in season 1. He has the best hands on the team apart from one other receiver, and he's a good route runner with enough speed at 90. There is another receiver with even better hands though, and that is Emilio Vela. He's also pretty small, just like Lara. Lara is 5'8", Vela is 5'9", and he has by far the best hands on the team. And he will definitely play, even though he has only 85 speed. He's definitely a slot-only receiver. That's where you're gonna see him in season 1. Third best receiver on the team is Tavares Cerdeño, and he is also only 5'8". So a bunch of small receivers at the top. He does not have any great route runnings to speak of. He doesn't even have great hands, not even good hands. It's just decent hands, I guess. But he at least has some speed. Topping out here at 93 speed, which is not going to get better. 93 in the Sun Belt should be enough. Then, this is a redshirt JUCO transfer. Well, he's going to be redshirted this season, but he already looks pretty exciting to me. His route running and hands are still very decent, below average-ish, but he has still some room to grow. He can grow his hands and route running by 3 each. And he has more than enough speed to maybe make an impact next year. Chris Cardoza was a former 4-star receiver with whom I'm kind of disappointed. His hands are maxed out at only an average level. He has 91 speed, and he's also not the biggest. This is the only receiver over 6 feet on this team. It's Johnny Machado, and he was a former 4-star as well. And he already feels kind of maxed out. But he has some really good elusiveness, which is always a nice thing. His route runnings are pretty bad. There is no sugarcoating that, and it's not going to grow a whole lot. His hands might get to the 80s maybe, but there is not much hope for great improvements for him. But he has 93 speed, which is nice. And then we have a bunch more redshirt or like true freshmen that are going to be redshirted this season. Anthony Esponda is another one of these 5'8" receivers. Really bad route runner at the moment. His hands are already almost maxed out and he's not going to get a whole lot better, but at least he has 92 speed. So we have a bunch of receivers that are small with a lot of speed that really can't catch the football a whole lot. Taylor Rosas is another receiver that's pretty small. And his route runnings are really bad. Like the other ones are almost excellent compared to his. And his hands are already kind of maxed out. It's not going to get a whole lot better. 90 speed. Don't think we're going to see him anytime soon. And then the last receiver on the team is Eric Bazanis. And he has really good elusiveness. But his route runnings are really not where they should be, and they're not going to grow a whole lot, and his hands are even worse. So the bottom of this roster is probably not going to make you happy. Now, best tight end on the team is Juan Rivero, and he is almost completely maxed out. And he's maxed out at 74 catching. That's the only thing that can get better, but it's not going to get better by 10. And he has only 77 speed. So this is not your starting receiver or tight end. This is your starting tight end, Alex Guillermo, because he's actually a receiving tight end. Rivero is basically just a blocker and nothing else. Guillermo is also maxed out, but he has at least a little bit more speed, 81. It's not great speed either, but at least a little bit. His blocking is the only thing that can get better, so we're gonna try to target tight ends in the next couple of recruiting classes to go get a real threat there. Santiago Castaneda is the third tight end on this team. He feels a little bit maxed out as well, but he has 86 speed. He's gonna be redshirted. Oh well, I can't redshirt him this season, but he's the fastest tight end we have on the roster, and I can't redshirt him because we don't have enough tight ends on the roster, so he's definitely gonna play as well. Trey Bavaro is your left tackle with 91 strength. His run blocking is not going to make you very happy. His pass blocking is a little bit better. And yeah, he's a pretty solid athlete overall. And then the tackle that we're going to redshirt is going to be Alex Laporta, who is not at all ready to play. He has 86 strength, but his run blocking is pretty below average, and his pass blocking is even worse. So he's not going to play, definitely, for a couple seasons. And then your left guard. This is our best offensive lineman at the moment, Rocky Merez, a former 4-star with 99 lead block, which is awesome. And 82 acceleration seems pretty good. He almost has tight end speed. A little bit more and he would be a solid tight end. His run blockings are good. His pass blockings not as much. And he is a really solid athlete overall. James Vargas is going to be his backup. And he is not ready to play. He has 89 strength, which is pretty exciting. It's pretty hard to get high strength O-linemen. But his run blockings and pass blocking ratings are pretty bad. So no sugarcoating it. This kid is not ready. Manu Palacio is a true freshman that is going to start at center. No choice here because they don't have any other O-linemen to start there. And he is going to be a solid center soon, but 86 strength is the only positive thing he has going for him at the moment. I hope he's going to get better over the course of the season, but he only has normal depth. Manuel Cordero is going to be your right guard. He has had a solid development boost in the last offseason. He is already a pretty solid pass blocker. That is a good thing, and it can get even better. He only has 82 strength, and his run blocking is kind of mediocre as well. And then a kid that's going to be redshirted, Jimmy Melendez at right guard. He is a 4-star recruit. He is a really good pass protector right off the bat. 80 pass block, 81 pass block finesse, 82 pass block power. But his run blocking is not there at all. It's so bad. It's all in the 60s. And that's just not playable even in the Sun Belt. Enrique Marrero is also going to be redshirted. He's the right tackle of the future. 6'5", 284. He's very light, but he's a really great pass protector right off the bat. It's kind of the same thing as we had with the guard just now. His pass blocking is great, but he has only 80 strength, and his run blocking is even more awful. 61 run block, 63 run block finesse, 61 run block power. Not enough to cut it. This is the starter instead at right tackle, Anthony Castellanos. Even though he is less overall, he seems to be a little bit better prepared for playing the season. His run blockings are actually somewhat workable. He has 85 strength, which is better. Just his pass blocking is not going to be as good, but I feel like Marrero is going to have a good year on the bench and then hopefully explodes next season. This is your best player on the team. It's Emmanuel Valdez, 85 power moves. As a former 4-star recruit, by the way, he's a redshirt freshman. He has 85 power moves, 89 strength. He has 75 block shedding, which is not great yet, but might be great next year or something. And 67 finesse move is not great, but also he has not just 89 strength, he also has 88 acceleration, so his get off and power is unreal. And in the Sun Belt, he is definitely going to be one of the best players. Eric Gonzalez is going to be redshirted this season. He has 81 power moves. He is also very light. He's just 228 pounds and just not ready to play yet, but he has solid get off, and maybe by next season he is a solid backup. Taylor Costanzo is also going to be redshirted as an edge rusher, sitting behind Valdez. Just not ready. He's an okay athlete, but nothing special. 81 acceleration is also not like screaming off the edge. Our other edge rusher that's going to be starting is Calvin Leyva. 85 finesse moves. Combined with a solid run stopping and power moves build. Like 76 power moves is also not bad, especially at his size. He's only 228 as well. And but he is a pretty good athlete overall, I'd say. So he's going to start at right end. And then a couple more edge rushers that are going to be redshirted are Josh Valles, a former 3-star out of Florida. He has 82 block shedding, so he is a solid run stopper right off the bat, no doubt about it. And he also has solid strength, 83, but his pass rushing is just not there at all. Both pass rush ratings in the 50s and 74 acceleration, so no get off at all. Then we also have Tyler Alves, who is going to be redshirted this year out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. Also a 3-star recruit, 70 power moves, 77 strength, 54 block shedding, 66 finesse moves. Not ready at all, this kid. And but he does have a little bit of room to grow, so maybe he'll develop in a nice backup next year. At defensive tackle, we have a really good starter in the middle. Ronaldo Sanchez, 84 power moves, 90 strength. That combination alone is already super scary for the type of competition we're going to have. And then 77 block shedding as well. So he is ready to go. Even 76 finesse moves is not too shabby. His backup is going to be Eric Vasquez, 6'1", 290, a former 3-star. He is a pure speed rusher. He does not have any power moves, and his run stopping abilities are kind of laughable. Also not a great athlete, so don't expect too much from him. And then we have Adrian Silvestro, a 4-star true freshman that's going to be redshirted this season. I know I should play him, but we're not going to win the Sun Belt in the first year anyway. So I'll rather just redshirt him and let him develop for a year. And then next year he's going to attack. And he's definitely going to jump up by a lot, I think. And then The third player you're going to see at defensive tackle this year is Ben Calcaterra. And he has 77 power moves. He has enough strength. Well, I mean, 82 it could be better, but it's solid enough. 73 finesse moves, and then also a good run stopping ability. So he is definitely going to see the field a lot. And let's move on to a couple more defensive tackles that are also going to be redshirted. One of them is Taylor Machiela. He has 71 block shedding, 83 strength, 64 power moves, 59 finesse moves. So this kid is also definitely not ready at all. His caps are quite restrictive. I doubt that we'll see him like ever becoming something great, but we'll see, I guess. Dave Santos, welcome to linebackers now, is a pass coverage linebacker, a former 4-star player out of New Orleans, Louisiana. He has 78 zone coverage right off the bat before he even had a snap in college football. He has a little bit of blitzing upside. He can stop the run as well, and he has unbelievable speed at linebacker. 91 speed, 92 acceleration. This kid's going to be great. Cesar Castro is his backup. He's going to be redshirted this season, and he's a true freshman still. Not the same type of player. Does not have the pass coverage at all, not even close, and also not the same type of athlete. His run stopping ability is kind of okay, I guess. And then over the middle, it's going to be Jose Castillo, starting at a really solid 79 block shedding, 81 tackling, and he knows how to hit. That kid is going to be a really good run stopper over the middle. He also has a little bit of blitzing upside, and 74 zone coverage is at least not horrible. His athleticism, although, is definitely lagging behind. 86 speed and 84 acceleration or something. Not the same type of athleticism that we have with Dave Santos. Jesus Cabral is going to be redshirted this season as well. He is the backup for middle linebacker. He's an okay run stopper, doesn't offer any blitzing upside, and has pretty horrible coverage ratings. His caps, though, are actually pretty solid. He's just also not really the same athlete as we have with Dave Santos. He really stands out. And then we have a true freshman starting at right outside linebacker. He is more of an edge rusher, to be honest. He's kind of a Josh Hines Allen kind of deal. But he has really great get off. His pass coverage is not there at all. He's going to be playing in 4-3 base, and he might play on the edge a little bit if our top two edge rushers are maybe missing a couple of snaps here and there. George Aguayo is going to be redshirted this season. Nothing special to speak of here. He's a pretty horrible athlete, and his caps are pretty restrictive. Let's move on to corners. We have Brian Alonso, 4-star recruit with great man coverage ability, 83 man and 79 zone. Has also enough zone coverage. Can tackle, definitely. He's a really good tackler. And he has 90 speed. That's, I think, enough for the Sun Belt. So pretty happy about him. Our second best corner by overall is Nick Correa, 6'1", 198. Should be an outside corner, right? Wrong. He is definitely not going to play on the outside. You're going to see why in a second. But he has solid man coverage ability. He can tackle, but his zone coverage, 68. That's pretty bad. And even worse, 85 speed. Not enough at all. So he's definitely not going to see the field as much. He's going to be a backup slot corner this season. While our number one outside corner is going to be this guy, Manu Cardoza. Solid man coverage, solid zone coverage, and a really good athleticism for the Sun Belt. 94 speed is more than enough. Cardoza is going to be on the outsides, definitely. And then Alonso is going to be the number one corner, but in nickel and dime, he's going to move inside. And then we have Santiago Rodriguez, our other outside corner. He's only going to see the field in nickel and dime. He's going to be the number two outside. Solid man, better zone, and enough speed, 92 speed, to be able to survive in the Sun Belt. And then we have a couple of corners that are going to be redshirted. I don't have high hopes for either one of them to actually really play that much. because they're very developmental. I mean, they're true freshmen after all. But yeah, man coverage is solid. Zone coverage is absolutely awful. This kid has really bad zone coverage. His speed, 88, is kind of on the low end of what's acceptable. And it's definitely not playable in the SEC. But in the Sun Belt, he might survive on 88 speed. And then the other one is Carlos Aguilera. 6'2", 177, a very slender corner with 70 man coverage. Doesn't sound great. 72 catching sounds great. But 63 zone coverage just sounds absolutely horrible. That is not playable at all. 89 speed is also kind of on the lower end of what you want, and it's not going to get better with him. So, not sure if we're going to see that kid a lot. Let's move on to safety, where I only have 3. One of them is going to be starting here at free safety. Anthony Carvajal, solid zone corner with okay run defense. 85 hit power stands out to me, but 85 speed also stands out to me. Not great at all. But at safety, I think you might get away with it a little bit easier than at corner. And we have Ben Alonso. He's going to be redshirted this season because this kid is also... he does not have playable ratings. 64 zone coverage over the middle of the field would be pretty bad. He does not have anything going for him right now other than speed. 90 speed is enough. So maybe next year he'll be ready if it develops in the offseason. Tony Cordero. He is the starter at strong safety. No zone coverage to speak of. No man coverage to speak of. Not even any speed to speak of. 85 speed, also not enough, but it'll have to do for the first season. And then the kicker that's going to start the year is going to be Steve Garcia. 74 kick power, does not sound great, I know. But at least he has 86 kick accuracy, and we can run a couple fakes with him, definitely. And then we have Jesse Velasco. He's going to be a redshirt this year. He has 78 kick accuracy and even less kick power. Maybe one of them will develop a lot in the next offseason. I don't know. But we can't run any fakes with him, definitely. So that's not an option. And then at punter, we're going to start Nick Martino. 87 kick power. That's the one good kicker we have on the team. 75 kick accuracy is not seeming like doesn't scream great, but the kick power is really good because I think we're going to be punting it a lot this year. So winning field position battles is going to matter. And he's going to help us do that. And then the red shirt is going to be Jorge Escobar, who is going to have 79 kick accuracy, 74 kick power, and he also can run a few fakes here and there, maybe. But yeah, this is the team. A team full of freshmen, and we're going to see all these kids play for at least 2, probably more like 4 seasons. And what I'm trying to run here is going to be a pro-style offense. I want an offense that resembles the NFL. I want these players to be prepared to go to the NFL at a later stage. And we're going to run a pro-style offense with also a bunch of single back, a bunch of shotgun. There is not going to be a whole lot of... there is actually no pistol. And then for defense, it's just going to be a regular 4-3 defense, kind of also on NFL standards. And now let's look at the conferences. I already said that we're gonna have divisions. Sun Belt, I moved around a lot of teams because I wanted to make it geographically more accurate. A bunch of these teams are not even in the Sun Belt in real life, but I just wanted to have 2 real Southeast conferences, 2 real conferences that are playing in the South. And this is the Eastern Conference. We're not going to play a whole lot of teams out of that part of the conference, the Eastern. But we are instead going to play in the West. And the West consists of 6 Texas teams and Louisiana. So this is going to be battles for Texas all year long. I'm so hyped up to be able to play all these Texas teams. And yeah. We also are gonna talk about rivals in a second, because sadly you can't choose your own rivals, so I would have taken UTSA and UTEP in a heartbeat, but the game is not gonna value them, but they are gonna be in our hearts. And then I divided up the SEC. I don't think I changed around any teams in the SEC. Those are all the teams that are in the SEC in real life as well, I think. I just divided the conference into two sides. The two Texas teams, the two Mississippi teams, Oklahoma, LSU, and Missouri, and Arkansas play in the West. And then the rest is going to play in the East. But for rivals, we are going to have UTEP and UTSA. We are also going to have Texas. And we're just treating every Texas battle as a rivalry. But we're going to start the season off with Tulane. Then we're going to play our first rivalry game against Texas. That's out of conference. Then we're going to play Arkansas State. We're going to play Appalachian State. That's the only team that's not that's a little bit out of the conference, or like out of the geographical region. Then SMU is the next one. That's also a rival. Then Sam Houston, Louisiana, Texas State, UTEP, and then another out-of-conference game against Baylor. Those three out-of-conference games are actually the three rivals we have from the game, because I replaced Laredo State, I replaced TCU. So we're going to take over their rivalries for the in-game rivalries, I guess. And the fourth team that is missing from that list is Texas Tech, which I also wanted to put on the schedule, but I can only put 3 on the schedule because I selected 9 conference games every season. And yeah, that's gonna do it. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe for more Ocelots Dynasty. And see you next episode. Until then, have a great day.